Okay, so let's have a look at section 6.2, which is the equation of a line in standard form. An equation of a line in standard form is written ax plus by plus c equals 0. Now, the a, b, and c, they're integers, okay? They're just numbers, and the a value is positive. And I know this is linear, just like something in the form y equals mx plus b. And keep in mind how you know it's linear. You look at the exponent on the dependent and independent variable, x and y, and if those exponents are 1, you know it's linear. So here, we're keeping in mind a, b, and c are just numbers. You look at your independent variable and your dependent variable, and the exponents on both of them are 1, so I know this is linear. Okay, so sometimes you're going to have your linear equation written in the form y equals mx plus b, and sometimes you're going to have it written in standard form. Okay, so let's have a look here at these examples. What you're asked to do is express them in the form y equals mx plus b so you can read the slope and the y-intercept. Because once again, this is your slope, this is your y-intercept when it's in the form y equals mx plus b. When it's in standard form, this is not necessarily the number in front of x. The slope is not necessarily 1. Okay, you need to rearrange it. Okay? So in order for me to rearrange this in the form y equals mx plus b, to rearrange this, I need to get y by itself. So anything that is not a y, I move it. That's not a y, I'm going to move it over. This is not a y, I'm going to move it over. There's my y, didn't change, so the sign doesn't change. Equals, x is moving over, so it becomes negative. 3 is moving over, so it becomes positive. Now this is in the form y equals mx plus b. So if I asked you what's the slope, you would tell me it's -1. If I asked you what's b, you would tell me it's +3. So in order for you to read the slope and the y-intercept, you need to rearrange your standard form to y equals mx plus b. Let's have a look at another one. This goes from easiest to most difficult. Same idea here. Where people make mistakes, they just say, hey, there's the m, there's the b. But it's not, because it's not in the form y equals mx plus b. So again, anything that doesn't have a y, get rid of it. So I get rid of this, move it over. Get rid of this, move it over. Okay, this didn't move, so it stays as positive. This x is moving, so it changes sign to a negative. This -4 is moving, so it changes to a positive. We're almost there. This is 2y. We need y. So you have to think, how do you get rid of multiplication by 2? Remember, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So you divide this by 2. Now you have to divide this side by 2. So you have to divide each of these terms by 2. And now you need to simplify your fraction. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. Remember, there's a 1 understood here. So this is -1 over 2x. And this is 4 divided by 2, which is 2. And now I have it in the form y equals mx plus b. Now you can tell me the m value is -1 over 2. And the b value is +2. Okay? And the same thing with c and d. It's all the same thing, just different numbers, and you have to simplify. So once again, only y on this side. This is not a y, get rid of it. This is a y, keep it. Not a y, get rid of it. This is -2y equals the 8 changes sign. The -5 changes sign. Divide by the number in front of y. This time the number in front of y is a negative value, -2. So divide everything by -2 and then start to simplify it. These two negatives go. -2 divided by -2 is 1, so we have a y. And -8 divided by -2 is +4x. A +5 and a -2, a positive and a negative is a negative. You can change that to a decimal, -2.5, or keep it as a fraction. It really doesn't matter. And then we're done. So once again, you would tell me m is 4, b is -5 over 2. Okay, last one, same idea. Get rid of anything that doesn't have a y. This is -3y. 6 changes sign on the other side. The negative 15 changes sign. Divide by the number in front of y, which is negative 3. And then again, you need to simplify. The negative 3 divided by negative 3, positive 1. Negative 6 divided by negative 3, positive 2. 15 divided by negative 3, negative 5, minus 5. And then my m value here is 2. And my b value here is negative 5. So once again, to be able to determine what the slope and the y-intercept is, you need to change from standard form to y equals mx plus b. That's it.